Hey team, today we're going to talk about leadership with Mr. Craig Boronow. Craig is a 2005 graduate of Wheaton College in Illinois, and he's been in camp ministry for 14 years. First, he was the director at Moose River Outpost, which is a Christian camp in the very northern tip of Maine. He was their first director. He helped stand the camp up and worked there for 9 years. And then last summer, he became the director of Deerfoot Lodge, Adirondack. I grew up going to Deerfoot Lodge. Is a place that's near and dear to my heart. My two sons went there as well. So, Craig, I'm excited to have you on the show today. And just start off and tell us, what is the mission of Deerfoot Lodge?
The mission of Deerfoot Lodge is to build godly men in a Christ-centered community through wilderness camping. So to explain what Deerfoot Lodge is, it is that community. It's our effort to create a place where men are mentoring men, where they're adventuring together, learning together, and sharing wilderness experiences with a growth mindset.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you, for everybody out there, this place is legit. There is no electricity. You got to go in the outhouse, and 2 and 3 day hikes. And in this environment, they use to build Christian young men of character. So it is a special place. And so, you know, you've been in youth camping for 14 years in a couple of different places. What's the number one leadership lesson you've learned after 14 years in youth camping?
The first one that comes to mind is collaboration and the importance of empowering the people around you. I think strong leaders are characterized by the way that they empower and listen to strong followers, and they give people good instructions and then give them room to engage and develop their own solutions and engage their minds.
Right, and that's all about trust. It's about trusting our subordinates. You know, for the military, for you, you have dozens of young college students who you have to trust to lead these different campers, and that's a tough mission, and that's a tough leadership challenge. But you've been doing this for a while now, Craig. You know, have you developed a leadership philosophy? And then how do you try to instill that philosophy at Deerfoot Lodge, Adirondack?
Yeah, I'd love to say that I have this really succinct and world-changing philosophy of what it means to be a leader. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized what I really bring to leadership at Deerfoot is sort of the fact that I'm a system guy. We have a system that I really believe in, and I think it works. And I try to be as good as I can at implementing our system. So to tell you what that system looks like, I guess I'm going to end up describing Deerfoot a little bit here in some of the way we operate, but it's a very transferable concept. We create shared experiences for the guys that come to camp, whatever their age group is. One of the first things we do is during the first week at camp, all the campers will go on a hike with the other kids in their cabin. So they're doing something that's out of context for them. They're all a little bit uncomfortable, but they're doing it together. And at the end of that experience, regardless of, you know, what their interests were before that, however different or diverse they might be, they have one thing in common. And from that one thing, we're able to build community and a sense of togetherness and team. And in the context of that community and that sort of safe space that's created by being together in that one thing, we're able to begin going deeper and deeper with our conversations and building stronger relationships. Those are the relationships where counselors can mentor campers and where the real ministry of Deerfoot begins to happen. It's something that the Holy Spirit uses to great effect at camp. And I'm a huge believer in that system. And it really, in my opinion, results in the kind of growth in our campers that is a growth in which their minds are fully engaged. It's self-actualized. They're building out of relationships that they're invested in and they want to grow. So those 3 steps: shared experience, which builds into community, which builds into deep conversations and mentoring, That I think is a big part of the secret sauce at Deerfoot. It's a system that I love and believe in, and it's a big part of my leadership philosophy.
It is a great system, and it's time tested. It really hasn't changed since Deerfoot's inception, almost 100 years ago. So talk a little bit more about what makes Deerfoot different as you try to teach Christian young men to be leaders.
Yeah, you mentioned as we were introducing this time, just how out there Deerfoot is. We're out in the woods. We don't have showers. We don't have flush toilets. We don't have phones. The kids aren't sitting in front of screens for their entire time there. To be honest, sometimes Deerfoot's pretty uncomfortable because of all this stuff. It's an incredibly rustic environment. And I would say one of the keys there is that what we don't have at Deerfoot contributes richly to what we do have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that growth model that Deerfoot uses is eerily similar to the Army. Deerfoot puts the boys in tough situations where they end up growing in their faith and growing in community. And in the Army, we put people in tough situations in training because we want them to grow as leaders and grow as a team and grow as community. So those things are very similar. But Craig, thanks for your leadership. You're out there with America's youth, helping them grow in their faith, helping them grow as citizens and as leaders. So appreciate what you do and appreciate your time today. And thanks for being on Lopez on Leadership.
Thanks for having me. Couldn't be more happy to do it.